Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the men's seated volleyball match. We are about to play the national anthems for the United States and Canada.
Now, the national anthem of the United States of America.
So we're here in the U.S. Olympic Training Center for a match of seated volleyball between the United States and Canada. This is James Chemo Rush with my co-host John Aharoni. This is the fourth match in 3 days. What do we have from the other previous matches today?
This is the final friendly match for these two teams. It's their final international competition before they go off into the World Championships in Elbląg, Poland. The World Championships are particularly significant for these teams because they'll both be competing for an Olympic berth. Neither one of these teams has qualified in the last two quads, so their preparation has been very precise and they're very excited for that opportunity.
As I understand it, both these teams have a big opponent in Brazil.
That is absolutely correct. These teams train together quite a bit, and I believe they play each other 5 times in the last 3 days, and they probably play about 10 or 12 times during the year. So they're training partners. They respect each other a lot. They're comrades. But their goal is to get through Brazil and get to that Paralympic Games. When they step out on the court, there is no love lost. They're definitely going for the win and going to prepare as much as they can.
Now we're going to see a bit of a different game from if you're used to standing volleyball. What are some of the things that we're going to see that are different today, such as the court, of course, is noticeably smaller with a lower net. There's some special rules regarding having to have part of your cheek or back in contact with the ground as you're making a play on the ball.
Exactly. sitting volleyball is a discipline of volleyball that can be played by young, old, physically disabled, or able-bodied. The rules of the game are extremely similar to the standing game, with only a few minor differences. First of all, the court is approximately a third the size and about 10 meters in length, divided equally in half with 6 meters in width. Instead of a 10-foot line, they use a 2-meter line. Second, the net is about 1.15 meters high for men and 1.05 meters for the women. Next, as you were saying, Kimo, the player must keep a small portion of their upper body, defined by the area from the buttocks to the shoulders, in contact with the ground, in contact all the time. And the final difference is a player's position on the court is determined by the contact of the buttocks with the ground. This means, and you're going to notice, Kimo, when they're serving, a lot of times their leg will be significantly over the line. Normally, in the standing version of volleyball, we'd call that a foot fault, but we're not looking for foot faults in this game. We're looking for butt faults. So the position of the butt, and believe it or not, it's actually called a butt fault. As long as the butt is behind the serving line, they can swing away with their foot well into the court.
We're almost through the introduction of the starters for both teams. It looks like we just had the U.S. Libero was the last one announced.
And interestingly enough, Travis Ricks is not the normal U.S. Libero. Normally Hugo goes in for that starting position. Also, we see J.D. Marenko and Roderick Green. Yesterday we called Roderick Rod the God as he led Team USA on an 18-1 run.
Wow.
As they beat up on Canada 25-6, I believe was the final score of that game. Last night's match went 4 games. Canada snuck out and took the game 2, and we set things back and got back on track.
That was 3 wins in 3 days, correct? I think we won Friday in 5. First match yesterday in 3, and then the second match, as you stated, in 4.
Exactly. Friday's match was a little bit different as a few key starters weren't here. It did go 5, and most of our players had to step up in new ways. But the great thing about that was when we played them the next morning on Saturday, it went 3 and it was rather quick. Our guys seemed to hold on to those adjustments they made in terms of being the emotional leaders and getting things done, and it just bled into their play the next day, and they really took it to Canada.
Jamoy Anderson for Canada back to serve.
You know,
Jamoy in the ball.
For me, Jamoy personifies what sitting volleyball is all about. He is constantly smiling. He makes a mistake. He's hard on himself. He wants to win, but you can see how much this guy loves the game and loves wearing Canada on his back.
You see the U.S. ready to receive. And a quick block for the U.S.
Edgar.
Looked like Edgar LaForce got that.
LaForce got that block, and you'll notice Edgar has a slightly different style for blocking the serve. We'll go into that in one of our first timeouts, but notice how he attempts to block the ball with one arm.
Dan Reagan for the U.S. back to serve over the block for Canada. With the hit and a block for the U.S. and off the hands, out of bounds, point U.S. Looks like LaForest and Swearingen teamed up for that one. Another good serve. Blocked by the U.S. Canada swings and attacks. We had Larry Matthews for Canada driving the ball through the U.S. block for the point.
Larry Matthews has been a key player for Canada on that outside. Canada has struggled setting the middle ball. Woo, big serve for Canada.
From U.S. off the block. We'll get a free ball out of this. LaForce with the kill down the line and dug up.
Great day.
Oh, and the joust at the
block.
net. Charlie Swearingen winning the joust for USA.
Edgar LaForce back to serve.
Got the U.S. Libero. Travis Ricks is in the backcourt again. Serve is good, and we got a nice hit off the block. Matthews again for Canada off the U.S. block, out of bounds. Point Canada.
You'll never see Larry Matthews make a big swing like you'll see JD or Eric Duda make, but he is just effective and simple. He gets that ball to the ground in a number of different ways.
A pretty good setter, too, it looks.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Good block there again from Swearingen, which Canada was unable to pick up after that. So point U.S. Eric Duda back. U.S. is up 4-2. U.S. with a dig.
Oh, look at that
Not
movement.
quite over.
Wow, what a great attempt.
Swearingen traveled a long way to get that dig. Just couldn't quite get it over the net.
Normally, they'll let a similar version of that go if it's an athletic move. They're slightly more lenient than you'll see them in the NC2A. But, you know, these refs are very good and very professional, and they make that call every time.
Oh, what a dig.
What great coverage. James Stuck with a quick reaction. Okay.
And the hitting error by Canada. Jesse Ward into the net. USA point. Coming in, we've got Dan Regan coming in across the front row, and Swearingen comes back to the service line. U.S. is up 5-3. And a stuff block. Steve Doubt in on the overpass, stuffs it down. U.S. digs it up and just out of bounds. A nice set. Dan Regan just hits it out of bounds, though.
If this is your first time watching sitting volleyball, you're going to notice that there are a number of similarities. We see the same quick sets. We see hut balls. We see back row sets. Oh, another great serve by Canada.
Oh, and
just out, a wipe off the block.
Great job by Dan Regan hitting the ball off the block, off a beautiful set by James Stuck, who comes back to serve. U.S. is up 7-4.
I have to say I love when Stuck gets in the back row. Look how quick he moves around that court.
He is crazy fast. I don't know how to describe it other than that. And it looks like we have a timeout by USA. USA is leading. No, this is TV time or the
this is the first technical timeout. That's another distinction for sitting volleyball, Chemo. They take technical timeouts when a team gets to 8 and when a team gets to 16. It looks like the U.S. is using a slightly different lineup from the one they used yesterday, but as I said earlier, there's no change in the level of performance. We're at 8-4, controlling our game and taking care of our business.
So let's take a minute to talk a little bit about tell folks about USA Volleyball and the national sitting team. The national sitting teams are based in Edmond, Oklahoma, at the University of Central Oklahoma, an Olympic and Paralympic training site. Here, athletes train on a daily basis as part of the resident athlete program while they pursue college degrees or work regular jobs. To be considered for the national team, athletes may request a tryout at the University of Central Oklahoma. If an athlete lives away from campus, then another method of evaluation will be considered. Depending upon an athlete's athletic abilities and or volleyball skills, an athlete may be invited to join the A2 team, which is a development program for potential athletes. Athletes advance to the national team training status once it has been deemed appropriate by the respective national team coach.
Chemo, the interesting thing is when you talk to the guys about who's right for this team, they really say that there is no right athlete that they're looking for. They say that anyone who's interested in playing, whether able-bodied or not able-bodied, should play. And if you're interested in making the team, obviously you have to be disabled, and we'll talk about the distinctions there. Oh, big swing by Canada.
What a big hit by Douglas Leroy again for Canada to get the side out for U.S. Canada's down still, though, 5-8.
Notice the ready positions of number 10, Edgar, as compared to Eric Duda.
Yes.
Out. Hey, good. You're going to see Edgar using what they call the beach position. It's sort of like if you were lounging on the beach, you'd have your two arms down and your knees up.
I understand that now. Okay.
As do I, my friend. And Eric Duda uses what they call the bicycle ready position. You'll notice it looks like his legs are on a bicycle that fell over. What the guys told me about that is that it's a new thing that they've only been doing for the last few years, and it gives them more dynamic movements. It makes them more able to move in more directions at the same time. Oh, big block by Canada. I believe number 10 is one of their newer players, and is definitely a wild card in this. We're not quite sure what he can and can't do yet. Looks
Canada's on a little bit of a run. They've closed the gap 7-9. Back to serve is Canada's Anderson.
Oh,
with
my
the stuff
goodness.
block. Oh, he got a little too close to the U.S. block there. Dan Regan pounds it straight down, get the U.S. side out on a point. Now he comes back to serve. And Charlie Swearingen in across the front row for the U.S.
Oh, what a great
Great
shot
tip
by
and
Larry.
dig.
Oh.
Just a scrambling. Ball's over the net.
Look at that move
Canada's
by James
outside
Stuck to get to the front row and make that play. Big swing for Canada.
Wow, what a great rally there. Some great digs by U.S. The last one just barely off the hands, out of bounds by Edgar LaForest. Canada still down by 2. Douglas Royd back to serve.
Oh,
he
my.
gets stuffed. The Canadians seem to be going right at that U.S. block. I don't know if their serves are just a little off target today or if they're trying something different, trying to attack that block differently.
You know, there's a lot of new, younger players out there, and that precision needed to serve with a block involved is such a different skill.
Big hit by Jose Rebello there for Canada.
Jose is the Canadian team captain.
That serve was well clear of the block.
Yes, it was. It looks like they're taking the heat down a little, but sometimes that's all it takes to get you off balance.
Oh, right back to the block, though.
James Stuck with another big block. So as I was saying earlier, there are numerous strategies for that blocking serve. Some guys are trying to create channels to lead the other team to serve right to their best passers. Usually when they're doing that, you'll see 2 hands up, and they'll be very distinctly trying to look big. If you watch Edgar LaForest, our Puerto Rican player, one of our Puerto Rican players, you'll notice that he has his hands low, and he actually swats at the ball with one hand. Edgar's strategy is a bit different, partially because of the nature of his disability and that his balance it's necessary for him to keep one hand down to keep his balance. But also, he seems to get more blocks than the other players. Oh, my goodness.
Again.
Another one. The interesting thing that the guys spoke about was that some teams in the world that tend to be pretty good, Egypt, Iran, and Iraq, actually try to serve the ball into the opponent's hands because statistically they've found that they can win more jousts than they can win real points. So that strategy is something that a lot of guys are talking to Coach Hammeter about to maybe try out in practice.
So we're at a timeout now. Team Canada called it. They are down 11-13. I suspect they may be talking about serving into that U.S. block, trying to avoid doing it. In the meantime, let's. A lot of folks out there may be wondering who can play seated volleyball, and in the United States, all athletes, physically disabled or able-bodied, are encouraged to give the sitting game a try. The fast-paced nature of the game not only provides a great workout, but a tremendous amount of excitement as you go to win the next point. In international competitions, athletes with physical disabilities have the opportunity to try out and attend development camps, specifically to work on their volleyball skills and to learn the strategies and techniques employed at higher levels.
Kimo, that's a great point. Rick Mullane, one of the managers and team members of the sitting USA team, coaches at the Club South Texas Volleyball Academy, and he says that they train their able-bodied athletes with sitting volleyball. He finds that when they get back, after being immersed in sitting volleyball, when they get back to the larger court game, their communication is better. Oh gosh, big swing off the block.
Just off the tip of the hands.
And their ability to react to faster balls is better, and we can talk about why in our next little break. Big swing by Canada. They've closed the gap. It's down to 1 point.
Yep.
With their team captain, Jose Rebello, back to serve. Ooh.
Interesting. He goes right at the U.S. libero, who passes it perfectly.
Great coverage by Hugo.
U.S. with 2 big hits, 1 blocked, 1 dug by Canada.
Oh.
And Canada with the roll shot to the corner. Caught us right between our two of our back row defenders. And the game is tied.
Notice James stuck between plays. He's always firing his guys up. He's always moving on to that next play. Uh-oh.
A little tight on the pass, but
And
Canada.
Nope, maybe not.
Canada hits the overpass out of bounds. A little charity there. We'll take it.
If you notice, the net was moving a little bit, and similar to the indoor game, you can touch the net anywhere but that top tape. The top tape is the only place that will be called as a fault. Oh, big block. Okay.
Dug up out of bounds by Canada. Point U.S. They've pushed the lead back up to 2, 15-13. Back to serve is James Stuck.
Ooh, nice float.
Nice.
Out.
Big hit from Canada, but it's out of bounds. Lead back up to 3, and we are time for our second technical timeout. So, were you able to? Did you say everything that you had about the youth club playing seated volleyball? That really strikes me as interesting as a youth coach myself.
Isn't that incredible, Kimo? I mean, Rick actually had his players play sitting volleyball in order to try it out. And what he found, like I was saying earlier, was that their reaction times were quicker and their communication was immensely better. And, it seemed counterintuitive to me at first. I sort of, what's that about? And what they said was that when you play on a smaller court with a lower net, it's not that it becomes an easier game. It's that the game actually becomes extremely, extremely fast because you're not playing with weaker athletes. The athletes are hitting at the exact same speeds that some of our national team athletes are hitting at. But when that ball is traveling that shorter distance, you have so much less time to react. I remember talking to Misty May, 3-time Olympic gold medalist and beach volleyball star, about how jaw-droppingly fast this game is. She loved it. She couldn't stop smiling, and she can't wait to play again either.
So, James Stuck back to serve for the United States. A 3-point lead, 16-13. Canada had pulled it even, but then U.S. pulled ahead again.
Seems like that U.S.
Big
block
serve.
is becoming a big. Look at that
Oh,
up by
boy.
James Stuck. My goodness, he can move.
Canada gets the point, though, on the dig out of bounds. Moving back to serve for Canada. It was going to be Jesse Ward, but he is subbing out for Davis Marchand.
And although Canada got that point, those are the kind of plays that Coach Hameter wants to see. Coach Hameter talks about movement. He talks about getting behind that ball, not reaching out and touching. And James Stuck personified that on that play.
Beautiful set by
quick
Stuck.
set. Oh, that's okay. Canada's going to get a couple of
They
those
got a good
as well.
block there.
Net violation.
Oh,
hey!
wow.
We got lucky. We got lucky on
Just
that
a
one.
little tick of the top tape there. Powerful hit by LaForest, but the block would hit it well covered, but just a little tip of the net.
Similar to the standing game. Whoa, Canada seems to be scoring points in bunches. The scoreboard goes a little haywire, but I'm sure the officials will get that set up again.
Stuck runs into the libero, ends up double contacting it on the set attempt, giving Canada the ball. Still down by 2, though. Jamoy Anderson back to serve. Great pass and a set. Dan
And
Regan
another
kills
net.
the ball, and Canada in the net again. Wiping out a great dig by Jamoy Anderson on that hit from Dan Regan. U.S. takes a 3-point lead, and Regan is back to serve now.
I have to say, Canada has really seemed to step up their game in the course of these matches, these friendly matches. They seem to be a lot more consistent. They're getting more digs. They're really taking it to the U.S. on their serving. These have been very successful. We mentioned how the U.S. has been set or dump. Love
Yes.
to see that play. Both teams
Nice
are
joust at
benefiting
the net
greatly.
there.
notice something. As the Canadian captain, number 11, was going after that ball, his butt came off the ground, and that's perfectly legal. The rule is that on contact with the ball, some part of the area between, big block on the serve, some part of your butt to your shoulders must be on the ground. So great legal play by the Canadian team captain.
And with that side out on the blocked serve, Canada is back 16-19.
Oh, go!
And a nice deep serve. U.S. libero Travis Ricks unable to handle it. Good play on it, though. I think it might have just fallen in if he had let it drop. So nice position serve by Canada.
Oh, great movement by Travis as well.
U.S. scrambling all over the place, but still unable to get the ball back over, and Canada pulls within one. A couple of good serves from Douglas Leroy.
Big out.
But then he gets it right back, serves it out. That one's long. Looks like Edgar LaForce is coming back to serve. U.S. is up by 2, 20-18. Serves just into the block, and it gets stuffed back. Point Canada. Looks like he was just off his mark by a little bit there. Almost cleared the block. Christopher Bird back for Canada to serve. That ball hit long by the U.S. Steve Doubt trying to take that on the right side.
And we have a new game. The score is now 20-20. It's a small game to 5. And I know that Coach Hammer likes it when it comes down to these things. He likes the pressure. He likes putting his teams in the – oh, my gosh. Big swing by Eric Duda.
Dug up by Canada, though.
Oh, great block.
Canada drives it right into a big block by James Stuck and Charlie Swearingen. You see that many arms up over when you're trying to hit. It's like trying to hit in a phone booth.
Indeed. Oh. Big high swing by Larry Matthews over the block. Now, notice Larry Matthews' serve. He has one of the wickedest serves in the gym. When he gets going, if he gets going, and I hope we don't see it, he can really put a lot of pace on his flat floater.
Game is 21-21.
Takes a little off it to keep the first one in. Great set. Great high swing.
U.S.
Gotta love that shot.
Steved out high off the hands. Canada unable to dig it up. Point U.S. It's 22-21. Charlie Swearinger back to serve. And into the front row, Dan Regan.
I love when Regan takes over in the middle. Good things happen in the last couple of matches. Great flat serve.
And it looked like Jamoy Anderson for Canada hits it into the net. Maybe a little intimidated by the big block in front of him.
Yeah, when you got stuck right in your face with those big arms and those tattoos just telling you you are in the phone booth, yeah, certain things are going to change in terms of your offense.
Oh, a quick set there.
What a great dig. Again, an absolutely legal play. Just like in the indoor game, you are allowed to use any part of your body to bring it up.
It gets U.S. a game point. It's 24-21. Team Canada calls timeout. And I know we've talked about it, the speed of the game, but that play right there just, I think, exemplifies what we're trying to describe. It was within the space of 1.5 seconds, it seems. There was 3 different contacts of the ball, from the set to the hit to the block, maybe 4 with the dig.
And you'll see a similar play in indoors maybe once every 8 or 10 matches. But out here, it's every 2-3 plays. There are amazing jousts at the net and feats of athleticism and reaction time and speed. And, again, like I said, this game is absolutely FUN to play. I cannot get enough of it. Kimo, I'm putting together a team for sitting nationals in Arizona in the next couple months. If you want to jump on my team, we definitely have a spot for you.
We had a chance. More on that later. We're coming out of the timeout.
Again, neither Kimo and I are considered physically disabled, but I am all about playing this sport.
Serves
Going
just
for the
over the
game.
block for the game, and a block
great
and a dig. Just off the hands for the U.S. Canada fights back, playing it tough. It's 22-24. The Canada captain back to serve, Jose Rebello. Beautiful pass,
Great
set.
pass.
U.S. rolls it over, though, and it's dug up.
Look
and
at
a big hit from
placement.
Canada.
God, what a set by Larry Matthews. Falling backwards off the court, pushes it right to the sweet spot.
Canada within one, and U.S. calling timeout. Now, I know the result wasn't a point, but I like that last play by the U.S. where it was very similar to what we see from the standing national teams. The tempo was very up pace, as you would expect in the sitting game, but it went through two different zones, and it was like a great combination play.
I believe that's considered overloading the right side blocker so that he has to make a decision whether to go at one guy or the other. Our setter, James Stuck, is very good vision. He sees what that tendency is, and he's trying to bait that blocker into moving in to give his player a no-block opportunity so that they can smash it straight down.
And it worked as far as defeating the block. Canada made a great dig in the back row, though, to hold on to the point. U.S. coming back out on the court from the timeout.
Little bit low energy on that U.S. team. If you saw them last night, they were going hard all night with Hugo, our other libero, dancing. But he's on the bench right now, so hopefully he can keep the energy high for his guys. We'll pull this one out and get back on track.
Great pass
another
there.
Great set. Oh, big up. Go. Yes, you can.
Canada with another solid defensive play to save it. Pull the score even at 24 off a big hit by Dan Regan.
Oh, that might have been.
Back row attack by U.S.
Yay!
Gets the kill. Eric Duda.
What I've noticed about the back row attacks from Eric Duda is that he sees the court so well. It looks like he sees the channel through the block and the open court every time. Last night he had 4 or 5 critical kills from the back row.
U.S. serving for game. Dug up. Travis Ricks with a dig. High set.
Oh.
What a save by Ricks.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Over the net to Canada. And big hit by Douglas Uroyd, though, off the U.S. defender out of bounds to tie the score. What a rally, though.
Yeah, amazing rally.
Great plays by Ricks there. He looked like he was 4 or 5 feet off the back of the court when he contacted that.
Great cut shot by Edgar.
U.S. stuff on the block, but off their hands, out of bounds.
Canada's
takes
getting a little
lead.
momentum. There's our second timeout.
U.S. coach Bill Hamner calls their second timeout. This has been a big turn of events for Canada.
Notice some of the U.S.'s key players, Rod, as we called him, Rod the God, has been on the bench the entire evening, entire morning. We've got JD on the bench. We're trying some new things, and Coach Hammer, he knows that these young guys need to get international playing experience before World Championships. So he trusts his guys at any level of experience to win these matches. They all play in his USA system, and it's a sharp one, I got to tell you.
Well, and I mean, having a deep bench is one thing, but you have to train that bench as well. So this is an excellent opportunity for the U.S. to get a lot of great experience against a really solid Canadian team. Canada with their first serve for the game.
First set on the line. James Stuck with a great high ball.
Out of system,
Push to the
but
corner.
a deep.
Okay.
What a great deep shot.
To bring the deuce back.
Dan Regan puts it to the corner. Canada digs it up, but not well enough to control it.
an amazing high ball set by James Stuck.
Pretty good result from an out-of-system pass.
Perfect apex, just giving him the opportunity to see that open corner and go for it. Oh!
Setter dump. And it catches U.S. in transition.
Just like in the standing game, I always love a setter that down in crunch time wants to take over the game and wants to make that play.
Canada with their second game point. Jamal Anderson back. U.S. is suddenly having a little trouble passing the ball. There we go. With a quick set off
my
the
goodness.
Digger's hands. Beautiful play. Dan Regan puts that one away with authority.
Tie us back up at 27 all.
And Regan back to serve. Trying to get the advantage back to the U.S.
Okay, Edgar.
Blocked by the U.S. Another.
All right, I think
we've seen that result several times today.
We're definitely starting to feel it again.
U.S. with a game point. Big hit. Douglas Leroy off the U.S. block.
And if I'm not mistaken, Douglas was the same one who made that setter dump in that last play. He wants this game. He's throwing his team on his shoulders and taking over.
Good pass up. Big hit.
Great
blocked
coverage.
And dug. Another big hit off the block.
Another great dig by Canada.
Digs and a tip.
Oh, wow. What
Looked
a
like the U.S. read that
block.
tip beautifully. Held the block up and stuffed it right back down on top of him. Set point U.S. Good serve.
You know, I'm surprised we haven't seen a lot more of that. We haven't seen many wipes off the block. In our previous matches against them, every third play seemed to be a wipe off the block outside.
Big hit. Eric Duda from the right side.
We saw a lot of Eric Duda last night. That shot was available for him all night. We'll see if he can get back on track. And I think it's mostly once the passing settles down, you're going to see Duda get a lot more in-system offense and start to do some special things.
Oh.
Wow, James Stuck, that's a big block.
U.S. pass, stuff sets. Canada digs up the hit. Off the block, out of bounds. Oh, what a great reach back dig by Duda, but it just went outside the antenna.
Amazing athleticism to make that play.
Larry Matthews back for Canada, trying to get them the edge. It's 30-30. Must win by 2. There is no cap.
I don't like seeing Larry back there. Okay.
Oh, and he serves it out.
He seems to have lost his rhythm on that serve that he's had in our previous games.
Definitely a bit higher arc on it, and it's carrying it really long.
Game
US could
point
win with
or
this.
set point for the USA. We'll see what happens.
Swearingen serves it over and in.
Great set.
Okay, U.S. controls the ball.
Whoa,
big hit.
my!
James
Stuck.
who handled the
Put an
first ball.
exclamation point on that.
Got the set from Edgar LaForest, and Stuck puts it down to take the win for U.S. 32-30. Great opening set here at the Olympic Training Center. The teams are switching sides, and but I don't know how much more excitement you want in a 32-30 for the first set of the day.
Like we said, those blocks are the net play is so fast and exciting. By the way, USA Volleyball is sponsored by Mizuno. Mizuno is the official footwear and apparel sponsor of USA Volleyball for indoors and beach. Also by Molten, the official ball sponsor of USA Volleyball. All USAV events under USA control must use the Molten ball.
The Hilton is an official sponsor of the USA Volleyball as well. What does this mean? Whenever possible, it makes sense financially.
Liberty Mutual is our insurance company, partner of USA Volleyball and official insurance company. Liberty Mutual has helped us launch our Responsible Sports page. You can look up their Responsible Sports page at https://responsiblesports.libertymutual.com.
The sports court here provided today is by Sports Court, official athletic floor in USA Volleyball. Something I really like this setup that they have here with the kind of a parquet wood look to the court itself with the USA blue around the perimeter.
Sport Court does a lot of custom flooring panels for a lot of teams around the country, and they really do a fantastic job. Also sponsored by United. United is the preferred airline partner of USA Volleyball.
Data Project providing an official analysis of the match, the software for it, for both the USA Volleyball indoor and beach. Software is used at all national teams for statistical purposes. For their website, www.dataproject.com.
And let's not forget about Volleyball Recruits, the official recruiting tool of USA Volleyball. If you want to get help with the recruiting process, go to www.volleyballrecruits.net.
So we've got a little bit longer on our break between matches here. Let's see what else we can tell folks about seated volleyball. The USA Volleyball is the national governing body for the sport of volleyball, but that's not the case for seated volleyball.
No, our seated team's governing body is the Paralympic. Oh gosh,
it's one of them federation. Let me see. The Paralympic, the U.S. Paralympic organization. I don't have the exact name, but I understand it. We're trying to get USA Volleyball to be.
It is in the negotiation process now. Hey, Kimo, did you hear about one of the national team players that actually played on her standing team as well? She led the team as a setter to the 2013 Oklahoma State Championship.
That's absolutely amazing. The feats of skill that our athletes demonstrate on just a time in, time out again is just pure amazement and a joy to watch. I'd love to see more people here in the stands to appreciate how wonderful these guys are doing. And we're getting ready to start the second set here. I think it's our turn to serve, is it not? Yep.
We've got another new face in the lineup, number 6, Jesse Shagg.
Jesse Shagg stepping in.
Exactly. In our first match, Jesse played as a setter. Let's see what he does today. He's on that right side. Oh,
and Sam Surlick had that serve for the U.S., but Canada controls it and powers through the block.
Wait a minute.
I
think I see one of my favorite U.S. players out there, the youngster, number 4.
Yes.
14 is Ben Amon.
Ben Amon.
Or maybe he's wearing 4 today. Oh, he's wearing 4 today. Ben is out there. And you'll notice Ben is what's considered a minimally disabled athlete. Mm-hmm. And in the international competition, you're only allowed to have one minimally disabled athlete on the court at any time, and 2 on your roster. You can never have more than 2. Believe it or not, in the 2013 Para-Pan Olympic Games in Guadalajara, we beat Brazil because of a violation of that rule. Ooh, there's an interesting set. Wow. And a great dig. Yes. Wow. Canada regrouping and putting that ball away. Apparently Brazil had substituted another partially disabled player on before substituting their one out, and we won that match on that very play. One of our few victories over Brazil in recent history, but an important one.
Ben Amon with that hit out of bounds for the U.S. and Canada has jumped out to a 5-point lead, 5-0.
You know, the good thing about Ben is he's going to miss 1 or 2, but boy, will he keep swinging. He's
he came right back and pounded that and got it off the block, just like you predicted. Point USA.
Uh-oh. Here comes trouble for Canada. I have to tell you, Rod the God, as we called him last night, is back in the front row. He must have had 13 blocks, and he went on a 17-point serving run to get Team USA online for that victory last night.
He
I'm
quickly
excited
moves
to
into
see
the
him
middle.
there.
They must have remembered because they immediately went to the tip over the top of him instead of challenging him.
Oh, they are not going to be running the middle often when Rod's up there. I'm guessing not till transition. They'll get it every now and then, but look for Rod to be a key factor in the U.S.'s already strong blocking.
Overpass by the U.S. results in a Canada kill. Just need to clean up the play a little bit by the U.S. and see what we can get back into this 1 point at a time. But it's 7-1 now for Canada.
We've got a lot of young new players, and they'll settle down as they get a feel for the international competition.
Rod blocked by Canada, and it's already 8-1. Time for that first technical timeout.
Again, Coach Hamiter is just changing things up, getting people experience using this as a growth learning opportunity. One of the things he preached in practice that I went to the other day is that every point is an opportunity to grow. And with an 8-1 score, they're getting lots of opportunities to grow here.
So tell me a little, you know several of these players and some of the, just some really interesting lives that they lead. Tell me a little bit about one of the players we have yet to see, although he's one of our regulars, J.D. Marinko.
You know, I wasn't going to mention any names because, you know, when I first met him, he looked like a pretty big, tough guy. But he told me a story that really, really moved me. And it wasn't the only moving story. It seems like every single one of these guys has a great one. But J.D. was telling me that my question to J.D. was, what does your family think of your relationship with volleyball? And he says that they're very supportive, but every now and then his wife gets a little annoyed with all the time that he spends on volleyball. But the thing that clicked for him and made the whole thing worth it was when his son came home one day. Cash, I believe is his name. Cash with a K. Suck a fool is the shout out that he gives to Cash. It's a Mr. T thing. I guess Dad looks like him. Anyway, I'll go into that story in a minute.
Okay, we're back on the court.
Oh, big tip
Rod with
by
the
Rod.
dig, but Canada digs it up. The U.S. set and a big hit and a dug.
Oh,
and Rod
wow.
with the tip.
Notice that tip. Rod loves that play, and the guys talked a lot about how in transition that push-down play is an important piece of it. Things change in transition in the sitting game as movement is difficult, and people tend to cluster in close, and if you can just throw that thing down, you can get a lot of points. Oh, Larry Matthews with a fadeaway swing.
Tough to find a spot on the floor that's open over that huge block, but he did it. James stuck and Roderick Green blocking him, and he got it right behind him.
Uh-oh, there's Larry's floater. Perfectly passed and an excellent execution on a swing.
Oh,
okay.
There we go.
Order is restored by Rod the God. He is back in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Starting to feel it.
That play started with a great hit from Benamon, I think, that Canada dug up, but they dug it right into Rod's hands, and he put it down. Ben back to serve. Oh, and he puts it right into the Canada block.
The youngster's going to have to learn a little more precision. I know he's got power, and he was aiming to do a little wrist-away swing to shoot that ball down the line, but unfortunately that Canadian blocker was expecting it. That's
10-3 Canada.
Part of that learning curve you're going to get. Oh, James
set it up, nice.
A gator dig. Gotta love when they set stuck. Good things happen.
It's got to be an interesting choice for U.S. head coach Bill Hamiter. Stuck is a great setter, but he's a powerful hitter too.
That is absolutely true. But, you know, I would never second guess Yoda, as I call him sometimes. He just always knows exactly what's going on with his players and his team. And oh, did we get a touch on that? No, not yet. I love the swing, though.
Sam Surwick definitely looking to tool the block. Saw some big hands up over him. Hit it hard, but Canada smartly pulls him back just before contact. And now they take an 11-4 lead.
Notice the learning opportunity that Coach Hamiter giving Sam a little bit of technical knowledge. Ooh, was that a foot dig? On his elbow position. Big block by Stuck. Go, 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 Ben. Look at the pursuit that these guys have. It's outstanding movement.
Another big hit by Canada. Christopher
And
Bird
that's
puts
timeout.
that one away. U.S. taking timeout. It is 12-4 to Canada. And so you were telling me a story about JD's family, and particularly his son.
So JD Marenko's son, I guess, was having a little trouble with math, and he came home one day and told his dad, and this was apparently a key moment for JD. He said, "Hey, you know, Dad, I can't do my math homework, and I've got a 4-year-old, and she doesn't get much math homework, but I know that face when they come home telling me they can't." But that's not the end of the story. The great part of it was that his son said, "I can't do my homework, but I know that my dad keeps trying, so I kept trying, and I finished. I got it done, Dad." And at that moment, it clicked for JD that he's on the right path and he's doing the right thing and setting the example that he wants for his family. I can't tell you, that story, as all of the others for me, just batted at home. I love volleyball, and my background is in beach volleyball. I coach the youth national team, and beach volleyball is my passion. But in terms of my favorite sport to play, to be around the athletes, it's right here with sitting volleyball.
All right, we're back. Canada serves.
Howdy.
And another quick
no
point.
No touch. Again, going for those hands.
U.S. tipped it just long on that. Canada up 13-4. Blocked by the U.S., but Canada digs it up. Free ball over. Kill a chance. Dig by Canada again. Big hit outside. U.S. digs. Nice.
Dig by Ben.
Middle hit. Rolls
Oh,
into the spot. Is it up? It's
Foot
up.
dig. Hand
And
net
finally,
by Canada. Okay. What a rally. My goodness.
big plays by Charlie Swearingen in the middle there. Finally draws Canada into the net. I love that dig down the line, though, by Ben Amon early in that rally.
You know, you have to respect the way that Coach Hammer's put that never say die attitude into these guys. They're down a bunch of points with a new lineup, and they're swinging away, and they're going after this thing. You know, and I'm giving Coach Hammer the credit, but the reality is this game's fun. It's hard to not get into it and celebrate and go for every ball.
Great digs by the U.S., but got called on a double contact as Jesse Shagg slides back and tries to get the ball over the net.
David Marjan back into the lineup for Canada.
Canada up 14-5.
Oh!
And he serves into the net.
As number 12 looks on and chats with his coach thinking, hey, Coach, I could have done that. Good short serve by Sam. Oh, what a great swing.
Big hit. Do we have a touch? No touch.
No touch. Excellent.
Douglas Leroy just missed the U.S. block and pounded it deep out of bounds. So U.S. 7, Canada 14. U.S. serves. Tipped by Canada, dug up by the U.S.
Okay,
what a
Ben.
play.
Wow.
Ben Amon digs the ball up off the Canada tip. Unintentionally, I'm sure, over the net, but he responded that quickly to be able to block it.
Ooh, what a great serve. Yeah, Ben may be one of the younger players on this team, but he sure is learning fast. And with those long arms and athleticism, he's going to be an important piece of this team for a long time. Notice before Ben was playing sitting volleyball, he was actually a tennis player. And as a minimally disabled player, he's missing part of his front left foot. So that's what's going on with him, and still able to play tennis in the standing game and compete in the sitting volleyball.
Ben with that last kill got the U.S. the side out. It's 9-15. U.S. served. They've dug it up. Oh! But Jose Rebello on the outside for Canada. 2 big hits. One of them went down. That takes us to our second technical timeout with Canada, 16 points. But the U.S. has closed the gap a little bit with 9.
One of the things Coach Hammer talks about an awful lot is moving to the ball. What happens when you don't move to the ball and you start sticking your arms out and reaching outside your body line is those flat digs. You'll notice the last dig was very flat, and all of a sudden we can't run our offense the way that we want to. People don't have enough time to get on balance. Oftentimes we call that putting an apex on the ball. And, our younger junior players go, an apex? What the heck's an apex? We talk about an apex on the ball as if you think about a capital letter A, you're just pushing that ball so it has a nice top, not a flat trajectory like that last pass from the USA. I'm sure they're going to get back online with their movements and take care of those apexes and start running that offense to Ben, who's going to take over for Duda and get those kills.
I can see why you like Benamon. He is young. He's making some slight errors, but it doesn't seem to phase him at all. He's right back in it, making a great play. In some cases, the very next contact on the ball. That kind of short memory to let the failed attempt go, to build on it and to have a great success after that is really impressive.
He is a remarkable athlete, physically and mentally, as you pointed out. And like I said, he's just going to be an important part of this team for a long time to come.
Canada, however, gets that first point. They've got one.
Oh, wow. Great
quick joust at
recovery.
the net. And
oh, my goodness.
Wow.
That was a little mini stare down by Rod the God through the net.
Rod just lowered the roof on Canada. Got the ball back for U.S. It's 10-17. Jesse Shag back to serve.
Ooh, top spinner
hard.
ace by Jesse
like it.
Shag. Gotta love that one.
That ball came over really fast.
And it looked like a similar serve that Ben Amon tried earlier, but Jesse found that seam. Jesse was a critical piece to us winning that first game. On Friday. Wow, look at that dig.
Yes.
My goodness, James stuck and a following our libero Travis Ricks. That was an impressive play.
It looked like Shag was trying to hit that seam faster than the block could close. Canada responded well that time though. Up 18-11 in the second set of the match. USA won the first one 32-30.
Ooh, nice flat float. Oh.
U.S. with a hit down the line, dug up.
Oh, what a cut shot.
Wow.
God, the court awareness to see that ball, and then the skill set to be able to put that thing on a dime is
on a roll shot at that. Not a ball handled over by the setter, but
oh boy,
a cut shot. USA bringing in the man we were just talking about, J.D. Marinko.
JD adds a whole new dimension to the U.S. block and the U.S. offense. He also can go on big serving runs.
He's got a great beard.
Hey, look at that. Maybe Benamon is trying that Egyptian strategy where you serve into the block. Now that you got Rod there, it seems like a superior blocking matchup for the U.S. Oh, as I was saying, Rod
stuck in Rod
takes
just
care
combined.
of business once again.
Wow.
Looks
Turning
like Ben's
out the
starting to feel
lights.
it.
Jamoy Anderson seeing nothing but hands on that attack.
Looks like a bit of confusion going on. Canada determining who their server is. It's the captain.
I'm not sure what happened on that play. Were we in the net?
I didn't see the call. We'll figure it out momentarily.
Okay,
we'll get our statisticians on it.
Canada up 19-13.
Oh,
what a
James
beautiful
stuck
bump
with
set.
Another perfect one.
JD with the
finding
hit,
his
deep
rhythm.
corner.
You know, it's tough to come off the bench after sitting close to 2 games and come out swinging. JD reaching really high over the block, getting a little bit of fingers and finding the open court.
Stuck JD and Charlie Swearinger across the front row for the U.S. now. U.S. serving 14-19. They've been battling back against Canada. This is a big front row for U.S. With a nice serve. Rod Green right off the edge of the Canadian block. They touched it, but it came down out of bounds. Point U.S.
it's a learning curve. It's not easy to block a ball moving that quickly. Once you reach out, you're gonna push that thing in weird directions. Rod the God with another ace.
Right down the opposite line, just out of reach of Larry Matthews.
Like I said the other day, Rod went on a 17-point run just the other day, and notice the U.S. is within 3, being down as much as 11 at one point.
Yeah.
So fantastic run by the U.S., led by Rod the God, and maybe a little bit of the emotional uplift of JD.
It has, well, and certainly JD's had an impact right away when he came in, but I think you hit it right on the head. When Rod came in, I think that might be the time when things started to turn around. A touch here at the net, a dig here, and then going back in these big serves. He really seems to have had a big impact on the U.S. game.
Well, the contributions those two players make are not just emotional. They take a lot of the physical offensive load, which frees James Stuckup to play his role as emotional leader. But like I said, Coach Hammiter is getting these guys ready and getting a whole bunch of different looks and giving them opportunities to expand their game. Ooh, another serve by Rod to Larry Matthews.
Wow,
what a dig by Jesse. A lot of heat on that one. We may not have closed the block there.
Stuck in Swearinger, left just a little crease in between, and Douglas Arroyd pounded that ball through it. Canada's up 20-16, second set. Great pass. Oop, actually a little bit off on the pass. There we go. Tight.
Net.
But
Yay,
Canada
that's how.
Slaps the net trying to get the ball.
I cannot get enough of watching James Stuck come in to set and block.
If he doesn't challenge that, I don't think Canada goes in the net.
No, absolutely not. And it took such an amazing exhibition of speed for him to get there. Again, James Stuck serving and getting on the court and taking care of business. He did get roofed, but you gotta love when JD starts swinging. It's only a matter of time till his body gets a little warm and he starts seeing that block better and taking care of his business. I like when he starts firing up. Oh, hey.
Big block by Swearinger off of the serve. Gets the ball back for U.S. Still down by 3, 18-21. JD back at the service line.
JD took a rip at a ball yesterday that, man, it was almost into the next state. Incredible serve by JD.
A little confusion on Canada's part.
Indeed. You just love seeing JD show his power. The great thing about JD is he's got such a precise touch. That's a fail. Oh, here we go.
U.S. team wanting a
wow.
A call of fours.
Oh, my. Oh. Big swing by the youngster, Ben.
It was in, yes.
That's a great overrule.
Yes. So line judge called that out, but the head official saw the ball in. Beautiful hit, boy. Ben had some heat on that.
In or out, that's just a fantastic play. You got to love when the youngster believes in himself. The pass is perfect. He gets the set he needs, and he takes a rip at it. Oh, yellow card given to the Canadian coach. Yeah, you have to remember, these referees know their job. They know their business, and they're gonna call the game the way they call the game.
Mm-hmm. Well, both coaches there had something that they wanted to argue a little bit about, but early on in the play, the U.S. thought that Canada, instead of getting blocked, hit the ball into the top tape and then continued to play it. But no whistle. The USA kept playing. Got the big hit from Ben and got the point.
I believe the expression is that the ball never lies. I think you may have been correct on that. The interesting thing is this game is technically not a world competition. It's a friendly, but as you see from the actions of that Canadian coach, when the game starts, when the set begins, it's all business. We are here to win. We are here to prepare our players. We want them to know that we have their backs and we're going after it. The U.S. only down by 1 point.
They've clawed their way back.
They absolutely have.
Tight pass. Gets a free ball for the U.S.
Oh, wow. Beautiful.
Nice set for JD.
The
outside
interesting
the hand
thing is
to Ben.
sorry about that,
No
Kimo.
worries.
I've been speaking about JD's power and strength, but notice he's using his finesse on his serve. He steps in there and just delivers the perfect set out to Ben Amon, who takes it to Spike Town off the Canadian block. Another perfect set in terms of location. Hey, we got it. The U.S. taking their first lead of this game.
It's 22-21.
In the critical time.
And how about this? Off the strength of JD's setting.
Uh-huh.
The all-around skills of so many of these players is just amazing.
Ooh, that's a nice little hut.
Oh, just off the block.
He was below the plane of the net, so that's a legal play. You got to be very careful with it. Oh, wow. That might have been another one. Oh, look at that play by James Stuck. Larry Matthews slowing it down. The Canadians reset with a big block by Jesse. Great dig by James Stuck. Jesse goes up. Wow, this could be the rally of the match. Larry Matthews goes Stuck. Oh my goodness, what a point. You gotta love that effort.
Stuck called for contacting the ball without part of a cheek or his back on the floor.
Surprisingly, that's the first time we've seen the butt lift. The referee giving the not the Florida Gators sign, but the butt lift sign. Another perfect set. Net? Fingers? No.
Did we get Canada in the net? No.
We did not. We did not. And that's okay. Ben Amon going for a smart play, learning the the range of his arm.
So Canada's back ahead. It's 23-22, the second set of the day. U.S. up 1-0. And the U.S. is taking a timeout. They've clawed back from a big deficit, took a brief lead, and now they've fallen back by 1.
As we said earlier, our sitting national team is not looking for volleyball players that are disabled. What we're looking for is athletes. What we're looking for is people that love being part of a team. What we're looking for is people that want to travel the world and have a shot at competing in the Olympics. So if you know someone, if you are someone who is interested in that matter, give them a call. Get on that USA Volleyball, USAV Volleyball at USAV.org website. Click on the disciplines, click on disabled, find out how to contact Coach Hammett or any member of the sitting staff and get involved.
So we're coming back out on the court now. USA down by 1. It's Canada 23, USA 2. And the Canadians are back to serve.
And although we're down by 1, we seem to have all the momentum after overcoming that big deficit.
Beautiful pass.
Great pass by Stuck.
Ben Amon with a big swing, but the Canada block up to the task. And now Canada has a set point.
I love the way that he uses his power. That's most of his game right now, but that as he learns from Coach Hammett and gets to be a lot more like James Stuck and JD and learns how to harness that power and put together a finesse game, he's just going to be a critical piece of this team for a long time to come.
Canada gets the kill. It's 25-22. They are tied it up at 1 set apiece now. USA bodies flying all over the floor, though, after the ball. I love the energy that we're getting now.
You never want to take a win away from a win and a set away from anyone, but you have to think that Coach Hammett is loving the comeback that his team made, the momentum that they can create in the face of adversity. It's not easy to be in an international competition and come back in that manner at any level, and this is absolutely no exception. So, Coach Hammett looks pretty cool on that bench there, making a few notes, studying his scouting report, and getting his game plan ready for the third.
I've seen a lot of coaches that down by as many points as this team was early, and you see some of the clipboard drops and other emotions come out, and he seems to have the enough confidence in his team and to know that they had it under control, and they were going to fight back, and they did.
Like I was saying, the classification for competition in the United States is very specific. It's somewhat ornate, and it goes a little like this. Everybody plays. If you want to get involved in sitting volleyball, you can play because, once again, everybody plays. For domestic competition of sitting volleyball, there is no requirement for classification of disabilities to play. Rather, it is encouraged that all athletes, able-bodied, physically disabled, play together. This promotes the inclusion of all athletes and helps to increase the quality of play between veteran and new volleyball players. Additionally, sitting volleyball is a great cross-training method for standing volleyball players to focus on their reading and ball handling skills. I love the speed of this game. It could not be more fun.
Now, you mentioned you're putting together a team for seated volleyball from Arizona. This is the USA
It's actually
Nationals?
for the national championship in Arizona.
Oh, okay. So from your region then?
No, we're just signing up, and I will take people from any region. I just want people that got long arms and big serves like Larry Matthews. I think if Rob the God wanted to sign up for my team, he could be my all-star.
Might find room for him.
I'm pretty sure we could find room for him. And, James Stuck could probably be a pretty important piece of any team. If I could lure those guys off the national team.
Right.
I don't know that I have the budget to afford them, but, maybe if I went to Puerto Rico, I could find Hugo's little brother or somebody and lure them out to my team of hooligans, as I'll say. But anyway, we're looking forward to getting out there and banging it around as able-bodied athletes, sitting down so that everyone gets to play. I believe there was a Heineken commercial recently that was exactly that. Did you see that one?
No.
Yesterday, Kurt mentioned it. I'm going to Google it after this match, but apparently it was, a bunch of guys going after it in a sitting basketball game. And when the game was over, they all got up and they sat down so that everyone could play.
We're getting ready to start our third set. USA and Canada have each won one. Canada serving.
JD, starter. We got Eric Duda back with the young Ben Amon on the bench. Oh, James Stuck just scooping that dig up. Oh my goodness.
You could tell the excitement in everybody's voices on that one. Eric Duda pounding that set. Off the block, way out of bounds on the backside of the court.
Just able to do that at will when we get
US.
those passes. I mean, that play was truly started by James Stuck moving and making a perfect play.
Canada a little sloppy on that serve receive. Gets the ball to the U.S.
Edgar with a little drop shot. Oh, my goodness, Duda again. As we were saying yesterday, Duda can do that all the Duda day. So USA coming in with some excellent passes, moving well to give that ball a nice apex, getting that in-system play and running their offense. Oh, Rob the God back in. Oh, nice play by Canada.
Sets the U.S. up. And Rod.
Wow. How did he create that angle?
Wow.
I mean, talk about the reach and wrist action necessary to make that happen. Beautiful play by Rod. It looked like the Canadian had his hands wrapped around that thing. Ooh, Larry Matthews
finally finds his way around the block. It looks like they set him more inside that time. I don't know if that was deliberate because the U.S. was really stuffing him when he was further out. We'll have to see if they continue that.
Oof, beautiful serve.
Oh, just down. Stuck almost dug that up. But it looks like just a piece of the ball got the floor.
Sitting volleyball is a wonderful way to learn that serving game. It seems like those serves are such a critical part.
What a spot. Douglas Leroy back there serving to the corner, just out of reach. JD couldn't quite get there.
Quick adjustment with James Saudi.
Yes.
Notice the adjustment. James Stuck moves back in order to serve away from him. The Canadian player misses serve.
Mm-hmm. Gives the U.S. the lead back. It's 4-3.
Seems like Canada is really trying to put the kitchen sink on their serve. They all seem to be going for it a little harder. Eric Duda with a great pass.
Rod with the dig, falling away.
Oh, Larry, what a great fall-away play. Again, in our earlier matches, that Canadian wipe off the block swing was a big piece of their offense, and they seem to be getting back on track. Maybe it's because the U.S. has their bigger blockers out, and it's more available for them. Great pass.
Little wipe off the block by the U.S. there. Rod tipping it just off the fingertips, and it goes out of bounds. Point to the U.S. It's a back and forth match here at the beginning this time, or back and forth set this time around. It's 5-4. Eric Duda back to serve for the U.S.
Tough pass. Oh!
Just out of reach of Travis Ricks on the roll shot. Point Canada. And the score is tied again.
We got Larry Matthews back to serve. He looks like he's going to go for it this time.
Yes, he did.
Nice flat float, but Duda handles it beautifully. Rod off the block high. Ball is down. Ball is down. You know, Rod just seems so relaxed right now. He's reaching high. He's extending well. He's seeing the block and moving it around.
He's finding great spots between the seams or right off the tips of them.
That should lend well to his serving right now. Ooh, nice flat float, high off the fingers. Antenna.
Into the net on the attack. Point U.S., and it's a 2-point lead for the United States. It's got to be a good feeling with those early back and forth to just get any kind of lead beyond one. Let's see if we can push it to 3.
Oh, great block.
Chance for a kill. Dug by Canada, but dug right into the block.
Wow.
And Dan Regan puts the dig over away. USA, after a back and forth up to 5, takes 3 quick points and an 8-5 lead at the technical timeout.
So we were talking a little bit about the classification for international competition. Sitting volleyball is recognized as the Paralympic discipline of volleyball internationally. In such competitions, players are required to have a qualifying disability as determined by a classification process. I spoke to the guys about that, and basically there's a classification committee that will come out and assess your injury. And the only way to get reevaluated once you've been classified is if you sustain a further injury or you have a degenerative condition, and then you will be reclassified given a certain period. To be classified, each player is evaluated by 2 medical classifiers, as we said earlier, who measure an athlete's functional loss. Based upon this evaluation, an athlete may be classified as minimal disabled or disabled. You know, this is an important distinction. If you look at, well, I guess we'll go into it in the next one, but watch Eric Duda. He is our minimally disabled athlete. He's got that smaller left hand, but notice how well he passes with his hands. I mean, I've been out there and standing and sitting, and I don't set or pass that well with my hands. I wish that I could do it in the manner that he is. And it's just a matter of him overcoming the adversity and taking care of his business.
Wow.
What a
so
great
a serve
play.
into the Canada block,
play.
but dug up by JD, and it rolls over the net. Canada unable to control it. Another point for U.S. The reflexes, the quick reaction by these athletes is just amazing.
And it's so funny to see such a big monster player like JD who can take over a game with his strength and power in one match and then move to a next match and just be, you know, a feline, like a tiger, able to move and use his strength with the agility. Rod back to serve again, going on that run. Like we said earlier, when Rod's feeling his finesse, he is tough to deal with.
Some different types of seams, it looks like, here in seated volleyball, where you're catching just out of the reach of players, and Rod seems to have that knack right off the fingertips where they tip it away from each other.
He is an experienced and talented athlete. I believe he's competed in the Paralympics in at least one other sport, and he ran track and did quite a few others.
Wow. There was just nowhere at all for Canada to hit that ball. JD and Dan Regan just lowered the boom on that attack. U.S. is up all of a sudden 12-5. Finally, Canada gets the ball back. Nice play by David Marchand to hit it off the U.S. block. Unable to control the dig. Canada gets the ball, but they're still down 6-12.
Remember, this is the fourth match that these teams have played in 3 days, so fatigue is going to wear on them a little. When I spoke to the U.S. trainer, he talked to me a lot about, oh my goodness, what a great wrist snap.
Big
down
hit.
The line.
Dan Regan off the block, point USA. Nice set by JD again on that.
The U.S. trainer talked about how the most surprising thing for him about working with the sport was the level of athleticism that these guys have, and that's a function of how hard this game is to play. Not that it's not fun and enjoyable, but it takes a lot of effort to move around. And you've got to think that this many matches, one of them going to 5 games, is going to take a toll on these guys.
Nice block there by JD. Gets the USA up to 14 points. Canada still stuck at 6. And it's a timeout, Team Canada.
So, like I was saying about the classification for international competition, a minimal disabled athlete has lost some muscular strength, flexibility, or a combination of the two in a joint that hinders the athlete's ability to play volleyball. A disabled athlete has lost complete muscular strength, flexibility, or a significant combination of the two in the joint. So in the case of Eric Duda, it appears that he doesn't have a left hand, but because he has a wrist and he has that wrist action classifies him as a minimally disabled athlete. Kimo, could you imagine getting Duda and Ben Amon out there at the same time? I mean, that combination of strength, finesse, and raw power would just be amazing. And literally, Eric was just a little bit away from being classified that way, but I sure love his setting. And, what a talented athlete. One of the mottos that the guys talks about is do the best with what you got, which, man, oh man, to overcome adversity and take care of his setting in that manner has been amazing. Back to action.
So we have the U.S. is back to serve. James Struck serves it over. Canada passes and gets a nice tip outside by Douglas Leroy.
You're not going to see James Struck miss that ball very often.
Takes
a little
flex.
Surprised. I think he was a little surprised too. A little bit of miscommunication between he and Eric Duda, but I expect him to dime this pass and get right back on track.
Yeah, except for Canada doesn't give us a chance.
Like we said, Canada's
out.
serving a lot tougher than they have in previous matches. I think they are realizing that that's a big opportunity for them.
Or a necessity. 15-7.
The mother of
Team
all
USA.
invention.
Yeah.
Oh, what
nice
a
deep
great
serve by
deep
JD.
Serve.
Canada digs it up, though.
Go, Jay.
Oh, boy.
What an amazing backwards move.
And, I mean, we're talking an inch from making that play back towards the center of the court.
You know, it looks like it's absolutely impossible, but I've seen JD get that ball up by just a half an inch, like you said, an inch, making a fist, and it goes perfectly 10 feet off, 20 feet up, right to where it needs to go. Oh, my goodness,
wow.
Duda. You got to love that play.
I would not want to be the unprotected defender behind that. I think I'd be talking to my block right now.
I think the miscommunication earlier with James Struck caused Duda to want to take the game back over. And he wants to send a message right before that timeout. And Canada's probably talking about that swing right now.
So USA is up 16-8 in the third set. Each team has won one set so far. You were talking on the last break about classifications for the disabilities of some of the players, but in a conversation that I had with USA coach Bill Hamner, he stressed, don't worry about that. Just come out and play the game. Come on out, give it a try, and find out what an amazing sport this is. And they'll find ways to get you further involved in it if that's what you want.
I remember the first time I played, it was at the AVCA convention. I was sort of strolling through the convention, AVCA, Association of Volleyball Coaches of America. Coach Hammer was giving a demonstration. He called me out on the court as an extra body, And, you know, I figured no big deal. I can handle this. Oh, my goodness. The speed at which that ball came at me was ridiculous. And then when I noticed it was a lovely female athlete, I just wanted to play and get good. You know, I wanted to get better and figure out how to do this the way that they did because, man, their skill and technical ability is fantastic.
Dan Regan back serving for the U.S.
Ooh,
The U.S. block.
swapped down by Edgar.
Free ball. Over on 2 by Eric Duda. And Canada not able to return it.
I think even if they did get that one over the net, Rod the God was right
Ready
there
to stuff it,
to
yeah.
send another message.
So let's see, we
Jesse
got a
coming in.
substitution.
Gotta love it.
Jesse Shagg coming in for Edgar LaForest.
Edgar did a heck of a job, and here we go.
Dan Regan serves it. Canada blocks it,
Oh,
but
what a great
USA digs
dig
it
by
stuck.
James Stuck.
Larry Matthews finding his swing on that one. The block not quite as tight, close together on that, and he finds a way to punch it through. Canada trailing, though, 9-17. Back to serve is Douglas Leroy.
Oh, great serve.
JD
Wow.
digs it up,
Rod.
and Roderick Green finds a way to put that short set away, off the block again.
Jesse with a wrist away topspin earlier, and a little more topspin this time. Oh,
Roderick
wow.
challenging that ball, keeps it alive.
Great dig by Jesse.
Setting
Getting
a quick
system.
set.
Darn.
No touch that time, though.
He was a little bit quick. You know, that same shot from the absolute middle might have been in, but I think Rod didn't quite understand how close he was to that pin. But a great idea and a nice quick play. It's going to give Canada something to think about.
Oh, a mishit. JD caught that off the side of his hand. I think he hadn't quite gotten into position and was still sliding. Christopher Bird serving for Canada. Nice. Ooh, a little tight, actually, but big dig. And there is Larry Matthews again, this time from the right side, off the U.S. block. He seems to be finding the holes this set.
Not the power that you'd see an Eric Duda swing with, or a James Stuck, or a JD or Rod, but boy, oh boy, does Larry Matthews find the hole when he needs to. Oh, Eric
Wow,
Duda.
Duda with the big block. Big point for USA. Certainly stomps all over the Canada rally. It's 19-12 USA. Duda serves. Free ball from the U.S. Canada attacking. And Larry Matthews finds the edge of the block again.
You know, Larry is feeling it right now. I don't like when he's feeling it and goes back to the serving line, but it's nice to have him out of the front row.
Yeah. What a serve. Wow, there's a rocket.
USA finds a way
Look
to get
at
back
Roderick.
in system, and Roderick takes care of business.
To see that hole right behind the block and just put it just out of reach.
In a broken play with the set coming from an uncomfortable direction.
Beautiful.
And he's back to serve. Let's see it.
U.S. is up 20-13. Serve in.
Ooh,
And
what
oh,
a dump.
beautiful play by Jose Rebello, the Canadian captain. Coming over on 2.
Serving number 11, Jose Rebello.
Rebello back to serve. His team down by 6. Free ball for the U.S. Dig it
You'll
up.
notice the other dimension of passing. Jesse, since he's come in, has passed 3 balls. All of them had beautiful apex, but they were just a touch off in terms of location. As he finds his rhythm and settles down, look for him to start diming these balls and get that offense back in track with those perfect passes. A slight overcorrection there, but he'll figure it out. Great touch. Oh, my goodness. How
Nice hit on the
often
outside.
in volleyball do you get to see 3 touches all less than 6 inches off the ground?
Wow.
I mean, amazing, amazing volleyball.
A great hit by David Marchand to get that point for Canada. U.S. couldn't quite dig it. There's a pass.
Wow, look at that speed. Look
Nice
at that
hit.
speed.
Dan Regan pounds that and puts it away.
The extra effort of James Stuck to better the ball. I mean, he could have stuck a hand out and got it in the area, but just moving as quickly as he can to get his hands on that and put in that sweet spot and push it where it needs to go.
He's back to serve now. U.S. up 21-16. USA block gets a point.
Big block.
That's a big one too, because Canada had really been surging. They'd been siding out well and scoring a couple points with each server to close the gap. But now the U.S. up 22-16. Canada block, but USA digs, and a set by JD. Out to Sheg, who rolls it over. Canada rolls it back. Oh! In the quick back and forth, the USA sends it just long. Point Canada.
Serving number 1, Jesse Ward.
Jesse Ward back to serve for Canada.
Wow, what a great serve, moving in deep. Oh, the cut shot. You got to love that one.
Oh!
Wow.
It was like a gator dig.
Wow. Covers himself with a bit of offense. A great hustle by Jesse on the U.S. team, but doesn't come up with it.
Canada continues to score on their serve. It's 18-22, chipping away at the U.S. lead. Great pass there, though.
There's
Let's
his
see what
rhythm.
we can do with that.
There's his rhythm. Like we said, once he figures it out and finds that rhythm, we are going to take over the game with our offense again.
Tough to do anything about that if you're Canada. When the pass is that good and the set is just as good, USA finds a way to put that ball down and with authority. Oh, quick.
Roly-poly to the center of the court. Wow.
USA
Impressive
digging it
set
up well.
there.
Nice high set in the middle. Rolls it over the top.
Oh,
Just out of bounds.
God.
Dan Regan
hair.
trying to sight in on that back line and just misses it.
What amazing recognition to see that deep middle's open and go for that perfect rolly shot. He just missed it by a couple inches.
Good pass.
Coverage.
Canada blocks that hard hit. And the USA digs it up and out, though. 20-23. Canada coming back.
Dude out with a big swing. I have no problem with him going for that ball as often as he wants.
Dig, dig, dig. That's it, U.S. Free
Getting
ball.
clocked is part of
Now
the
we can
game.
get in system. And a big hit.
Oh,
Canada,
wow. Marchand goes for that ball and doesn't come up with it.
Another beautiful assist.
Oh, boy.
We're
Look
stuck.
who's in now.
Dan Regan with the put away. And in comes Rod Green. Back to serve Dan Regan for set point. U.S. trying to take a 2-1 lead here.
If you remember in the first game, number 7 for Canada took over the game. He's got Rod on him now, so it should be. Ooh, Larry Matthews with a big swing off the block.
Serving number 7,
And here it comes. Douglas Leroy back there. U.S. gets the pass, though.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Rod's been finessing for quite a while.
That
he
was
caused
no
those
finesse.
Canadian blockers to reach up a little extra high and then put it away.
We got a little six-pack action there.
I think indeed. The U.S. is leading this match 2-1. We're going to go to a 4th set. If the U.S. wins this next set, we will have a U.S. victory. If Canada wins it, we'll go to a final 5th game.
I after seeing how resilient the U.S. was in that first match, the second set, it was really nice to see Canada respond in similar fashion. Falling behind early, but then fighting back all the way to the end. And they kept chipping away, really making a game of it. Really tough for them to do anything when the U.S. gets that first pass, though, and puts it right in the hands of James Stuck. I mean, our kill efficiency's got to be pretty amazing when we get that good pass.
I wonder if they're going to let Hugo, our number 9, our other libero, get in and let him stretch his legs. He's got a lot more experience, but it'd be nice to see him get in with this team and see how that changes things just a little bit. I wanted to remind you that Mizuno is the official footwear and apparel sponsor of USA Volleyball. I'm wearing my comfy Mizuno shoes right now, and boy, do I love those things. They've got great arch supports, and I feel like I could run, jump, dive, or do just about anything in them.
Our volleyball today is brought to us by Molten, the official ball sponsor of USA Volleyball. You can purchase Molten balls via the USA Volleyball website, clicking at the tab that says Shop, or website www.moltenusa.com. What do you know about this ball here? This isn't your ordinary ball that your longtime players might be used to.
This is Molten's response to the international ball. It's wonderful playability. It's got a nice touch on it. It's got some special bumps on, or dimples on it that give you a little bit more traction when setting and using your hands. It helps, if you've got wet hands, to avoid those funny contacts that tend to happen, and just improves the playability of the game. On the beach, Molten uses the Molten Boss ball, and I love the colors of this ball.
Yes.
Out of the package, it's just a touch slippery, but within a play or two, oh boy, it just feels like a good friend. It's got that perfect touch that you want out of a ball. You can hand set it at will, and it's one of my more favorite of the balls.
Some of our other sponsors, Hilton, the official hotel partner of USA Volleyball. Find out more about using Hilton hotels at www.hilton.com.
My favorite Hilton property is the Hilton Hawaiian Village in Honolulu, Hawaii. I grew up across the street from there. I used to go to penguins there. They have penguins in Hawaii, and it was the greatest thing. We'd feed them and the ducks all morning sometimes. All right, we are going to our 4th set. The score is 0-0. Back to serve is JD. We're going to see if we can pick up where we left off.
USA won the first set, Canada the second, USA the third set. First set very competitive, 32-30. Then each team has had a big lead, and only to see it come close in another set.
How
USA
does
can
he
win this.
do
We'll close it out.
Kimo?
Man.
How does he do it?
Larry Matthews finding the seams. He really struggled against U.S. block early, but his perseverance is really admirable. And there, Matthews with a block, but USA dug it up.
Oh.
Our second time.
We've got the butt lift. Ironically, only the 3rd butt lift of the match. It seemed in yesterday's match we had 3 or 4 butt lifts.
A big play by Larry Matthews on that one, but he just couldn't quite keep in contact with the floor.
Larry truly putting on an offensive clinic. He's tooled the block to the left. He's tooled it to the right. He's gone high hands. He's hit a clean ball. I mean, there's nothing
there he is again.
Can't do.
In
Hitting
the
out
middle
of the
that
middle,
time.
Hitting out of the left.
A beautiful set to enable that play, too.
Notice the camaraderie of those guys. Roderick appreciates a good play. He knows he's going to get his share of blocks and a little slap through the net.
So Canada up 2-1 in the 4th set.
Oh my
boy.
goodness. A fadeaway quick set to Eric Duda. Backwards.
Backwards gap.
Wow. How do you know he's back there? I mean,
that's got to be trust between setter and hitter, just to know where you're at.
Sure, you can communicate, but my goodness, what a play. Okay.
Wow.
We finally got a stop on Larry Matthews.
Big face down there between
And
Roderick and Larry Matthews.
The slap between the net again. These guys respect each other. They're all preparing for the same thing, and that's a berth in the Olympics.
Score is tied, 2-2. Canada tips it over. U.S. digs. Instead of going to the heat, a beautiful set. Canada may be expecting the heat that time from Duda. He rolls it off the top of the block, and it goes deep and out of bounds. Point USA. It's 4-2 USA.
Gotta love that pass from JD. I mean, that whole play would start. A little problem with the equipment. Looks like the antenna was off, but the referees and lines people are straightening them and getting everything back to tip-top shape so we can have this match finish up. Edgar back to serve. See what he does.
Oh, he's going deep corner, but passed by Canada.
Uh-oh, here comes Larry.
Oh,
big dig. Oh, God, high hand crush.
Eric Duda with the tremendous dig off Larry Matthews' hit. Comes over and gets tooled just a little bit by the Canadian hitter David Marchand. And point Canada. It's 3-4. Tough serve.
Wow, look at that turn. What excellent recognition by the Canadian team captain.
Rebello. Jose
Gosh.
Rebello. All
Sees
started
that
with a
open spot,
great
pushes.
serve by Larry Matthews to pull it even, 4-4. He goes a little deeper that time.
Wow, James Stuck moving to make the perfect set.
He came all the way across the front line there to get that low pass and put up a perfect set for Duda to pound it down.
It never gets old. I could watch that guy set all day. Beautiful serve by Duda. Perfect pass. Quick set out to Rod. Tippy over the block. Ooh. And the ball's down. Oh, the lift is called. Never mind.
I think they called him the lift off the block as opposed to the might have been one a little bit before that.
Duda seems to be going with a top spin. Oh, my goodness.
Low.
Consistently. He sort of lured him in with that short ball, and then popped him back out into that corner and missed by just a hair. Great strategy, though.
U.S. is up 6-5. Canada serving, though. Their captain back to the line.
Good pass, stuck with a bump set.
Canada digs it up. They go to the right side. A roll shot. Stuck sets. And JD
my!
with the hammer.
As he'd say to his son Cash, suck a fool, that's a good one. You gotta love that play.
How about that set? Backwards facing from the right side all the way to the outside. James Stuck, just amazing.
James Stuck making a bump set, which is a rare play. I talked to the guys about what was distinctive with the sitting game, and what they said was that 70% or more of the plays are taken overhead. It's a very, very seldom ball that is done with a two-handed platform, and you know you'll see the one-handed hustle emergency plays, but 70% of the game is overhead. What an amazing training opportunity for standing volleyball players to get that aspect of their game tuned up and to have those learning opportunities and put themselves in a place where they can maximize those touches.
They put several of the coaches who are here for an accrediting program at the U.S. Olympic Training Center out on the court just to try seated volleyball the other day. And that was the first adjustment that most of them had to make, is watching them, they kept trying to pass the ball, forearm pass with arms out ahead of them, and it just doesn't go anywhere. Okay, so they had to move to get into position in order to take it with their hands, and real quickly you could see they started to get a feel for how difficult this game really is.
Yeah, how efficient your platform has to be in order to get things done. I overheard Karch Kirai, the three-time Olympic gold medalist, Karch, 2 times indoor, 1 time on the beach, speaking with Bill Hammeter about the training possibilities for his women's national team standing discipline, playing and training with seated volleyball. It looks like that may happen. I'd love to see that, baby.
So USA is up. We just finished the first technical timeout.
Good timeout by Canada.
8-5. But Rod serves it into the net, trying to go for a short serve. Comes up short and hits it in the net instead. USA has 8, Canada 6. Canada back to serve. Jesse Ward contacting the ball. Another great, powerful swing by the U.S., but Canada digs that one.
Oh,
joust at the net.
Fast joust move. Oh, wow. The most powerful player I've seen in this game. Going to have that sweet little finesse shot exactly perfect over the fingers of the blocker by millimeters into the open space. You got to love that play. Whoa! And it sets up a big block.
Dan Reagan and J.D. Marinko on that block for U.S., and it's quickly 10-6 U.S.
What a great set. I mean, it starts with that pass, that quick back set, sort of the red ball that we saw Steve Timmons bring in the 84-88 Olympics.
And the U.S. unable to get a second blocker out there, and Canada's Dave Marchand takes advantage of that.
You know, the hitter gets all the credit, but boy, did that pass make it. Oh, wow!
Canada with two huge digs off of powerful JD shots.
Beautiful coverage, but not
what
again.
A defensive point for Canada.
Coach Hameter's complaining about the long lift. He's comparing it with a water polo shot or potentially one of the slam dunks from the NBA All-Star game. Not quite legal in this game, but you know, the refs know their business. I'm sure Coach Hameter just had a bad angle on it. Ooh, hey! As we said earlier,
the ball doesn't lie.
I've taught you well, Kimo. I've taught you well.
I've also heard that attributed to the Hawaiian volleyball god, King Kilalabala.
I'm sure Pele and King Kilalabala played well together.
Uh-oh.
Oh, the doodah day off the block, and
you get that set right out there into his swing zone, and he just pounds it off of a double block out of bounds. USA up 12-8. Canada's pass a little off, so it's a roll, but
Larry Matthews. Go figure. Off the side of the block, sees the block perfectly, and crushes it into that hand, unsuspecting finger. Oh, what a great serve.
Great serve. U.S.
Good recovery.
Able to get it back over, though. And Canada a little
the foot off.
Confused there.
Gotta like that.
USA scrambles and gets the point.
Not sure how they called it double on that one as he hit it with his foot, but okay. They know their game.
13-9, USA. Fourth set, USA with a 2-1 lead. Canada with a good pass and the outside set and a big hit, but USA is up to the block. Free ball.
Oh, wow.
Roderick Canada digs Roderick's quick set, but he's right there to block the re-attack. Point USA.
You gotta love the hustle. I mean, seeing Roderick move to block their right side player, get back to the middle, and move back to get a block, followed up by another block. Oh my goodness.
USA 14-9. Canada calls timeout. Let me take advantage of this to ask you something. Normally, a good strategy is to try to get the opposing team out of system where they're not doing their regular offense, and one of the ways to do that is by hitting the first contact over to the other team's setter, who all of a sudden can't set, so you're out of system. That's not such an advantage when you do it against the U.S. team, it looks like, given how comfortable everybody else is setting and how quickly James Stuck is to hit it. How do you deal with that as an opponent?
Apparently Canada has not dealt with it all that well, but you know, it's hard to fault anyone. I mean, when you've got 4 hitters on the floor that can smash balls as hard as anyone at any level and set the ball with perfect precision, as Dan Madden might say, with a ball that you could take to Spike Town every single time, population U.S., it's just not easy to deal with. So, yeah, it's fun to watch, and it's neat to see Canada employ a tougher serving strategy, employ different blocking schemes, but ultimately it gets a little frustrating.
Dan Regan back there with the serve. It's 15-9 now. Canada couldn't handle it. The Canada libero couldn't handle the serve. Double hit it.
I love to see Dan Regan take over games. He can sometimes be a quieter player, but apparently Dan's got a blog out there. Hopefully I can get the information for that, but look for it, Dan Regan's blog. Oh, what a big block.
Roderick and LaForest twice teaming up to block the Canadian captain
There's a
Jose
quick ball to
Rebello.
Edgar. Oh, wow.
then-
How do you attack a block? I mean, I've seen that maybe 3 times in my life in the standing game. That's the 3rd time that Rod's done that in this match. God, I love that play.
Great tool. Gets the U.S. the point. It's 16-9 in the 4th set. Technical timeout. The U.S. in control of this match.
So we were talking about the Hilton Hawaiian Village earlier. I lived in the Wailana across the street from the Hilton, and it was just such a wonderful place to grow up. I mean, the swimming pools and the ocean, and you could go out and surf tongs right in front of there, and I think they have a nightly sunset cruise. It's just a lovely, lovely hotel.
You're making it hard for me to keep my mind here instead of drifting off on vacation. Some of our other sponsors here for today's event, we've got Liberty Mutual, the official insurance partner of USA Volleyball and official insurance company. Find out more about Liberty Mutual at www.libertymutual.com.
United Airlines, the preferred airline partner of USA Volleyball. I love United. I will never forget winning the gold medal in Portugal for the Youth World Championships. United saw our kids with gold medals and actually gave us all a bump into first class.
Wow.
That was some of the most comfortable flight I've ever had. It was 9 hours of nothing but fun. Oh, Larry Matthews.
Wow.
Sorry, United. Larry just took the steam out of that one. But we are here for this. Larry with a straight down spike on that pass.
That's a good response from that technical timeout. Try to get some momentum back Canada's way. However, they're still down 10-16. Christopher Bird with a short serve right into Duda.
Duda's not going to let that happen on his watch. I mean, it's a good idea. You want to use that serve to move the players in short and then hit them deep. But, yeah, Duda saw that coming. And
he just had too much reach for it.
Rod's going out. Looks like he's fine. We're
Charlie Swearings are coming in.
Some different looks, giving Charlie a little extra experience.
Well, Charlie with some big plays earlier in the match.
Ooh, good deep serve by
This
Edgar.
is a deep U.S. team.
Oh,
A one-handed dig from LaForest. USA rolls it over. Quick.
oh, the chicken wing. You got to love the chicken wing.
Canada team captain Jose Rebello, though, gets the point off of the second contact over.
Canada seems to be coming together. They're starting to move a little better and pass the ball.
Once again, Larry Matthews goes back and serves.
Oh, what a great
powerful
pass
serve, but
by
good
Jay.
dig.
Oh, my!
Wow. Eric Duda with the kill from the right side, once again driving it hard into the Canadian captain. They're having some friendly words back and forth, big smiles on their faces. They both know that was a big play.
Oh, wow. Duda's really feeling it.
Duda,
Taking
great
over the
spot.
game.
USA up 19-11. We have another substitution coming in. Jesse Shag coming in for Edgar LaForest.
The guys say that Jesse has the perfect volleyball name, Jesse Shag. Yeah. I told him about Jake Spiker Gibb from our beach national team. And, if those two could put a name to Shag Spiker, they could do some neat things.
That'd be a great doubles team, at least in name. Canada sides out. It's 19-12 USA, though. The captain back there.
Whoa, wicked serve.
Low hard serve.
Wow.
But USA up to the task again. That's twice in a row.
Boy, did I have a great angle. Seeing JD's eyes just key in on that seam and his wrist respond by putting the ball down hard in the wrist away cut shot.
Those low hard serves are tough, but when they're handled, it doesn't appear to be the Canadians can get their double block up in time to do any good.
Oh, wow.
USA with the stuff, forcing Canada to lift the ball.
Big
21-12 now. USA really pulling away here.
And you got to think that Coach Hamner loves seeing his, some players with a little less experience step in there and not miss a beat.
Right.
They're right on track with their blocking schemes, their passing in a way that, here comes our substitution for Canada. But Coach Hamner must be very pleased with this.
Jamoy Anderson back in, this time for Jesse Ward. Demoy going to serve, but USA is up 21-13 and has a 2-1 lead in the match. Jesse with the pass. Outside set. Got to go cross. Got outside
shot.
The antenna. Really tough
Gotta love the court
to
vision.
find something to do, but just out of bounds. Point Canada. We'll see if USA doesn't control this pass a little better.
Or block it straight down.
There we go. A little tight.
It was a good idea. Little tight on that, little flat, not much of an apex on the pass, but right on the money. But you just don't have quite as much time to set up on that play. You know, our attackers are blockers first, so they've got to make that transition, and they needed an extra beat. Great coverage.
Digging himself off the hit. Oh, boy.
Wow. That's no good.
USA dig right over into the mean arm swing of Douglas Leroy from Canada. Canada closing it up again, showing resilience. It's 21-16 now.
Heck of a great play by both teams. A lot of hustle.
Jesse getting a little frustrated out there, it looks like. The Canada server's definitely looking for him right now. USA substitutes.
And you gotta love that strategy by Bill. Look at him. He's got his legs crossed. He's chatting with his player, giving a couple of notes on how to fix things. And he leaves Jesse right there to learn. I mean, it's, you know, Phil Jackson does that. He wants them to have that opportunity. Oh, my goodness. Sending a message with that power dump. James Stuck.
Like we, even when he's not setting, it's like the USA is in system. He's such a good hitter. He knows how to move that ball. Gets the six-pack off of Larry Matthews.
Ooh, just
a serve out from Stuck, though.
You know, for a second there, I thought James Stuck was going to go for a sky ball. I'd love to see one of those in this game. You know, just to throw off the rhythm. St. John Smith did it in the Olympics a few years back, and you know, I'm guessing these guys could handle it like it was nothing, but I'd still like to see it. Just my shout out to Beach. Oh, big swing. Wow, what a great Gator dig.
Oh, boy.
Shot. Oh, can't
USA
get it back.
bringing the heat. Canada standing back, digging it. USA mixes it up, gets a point off of a nice cut shot from the middle. 23-18. JD serves.
Great floaty. Oh, finds a hole.
How did they find that hole? But
Did
USA
you see
digs
that?
it. Tipped by Canada. US digs and sends it over. Free ball coming.
All right, let's see what
they
set
do.
her out. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
The leg got in the way. James Stuck set the ball, says set her out. JD couldn't get past him to set it. You know, the confidence that these guys have in each other, when something weird comes unhinged, it was a little tough to recover on that one. But, oh, no.
Oh, critical error at this juncture by Canada.
We're at game match championship point. The crowd is getting into it, and we're ready to finish this thing off.
Canada serves in the net to give the U.S. its 24th point. USA serving for the match. Nice short serve, but it's out of bounds. A little wide.
And you see the frustration in Coach Hameter's face. He loves giving his kids his players the opportunity to serve for a match. And, you know, he told me it's great when they step up to task, but it's okay when they don't because it's adversity. And he's going to go into practice and probably serve a couple million of those before World Championships.
Yep.
I'd rather it happen here now in the friendly than there. Eric Duda.
Duda, too big
putting
at the
the
net.
period on this match. That will be the game.
USA wins 3-1. The final one, 25-20. A great match there from the U.S. A great match from Canada as well. Any final comments before we sign off tonight?
You know, I think my favorite part of these matches is the love that you see between these guys. When you're watching them shake hands after a match and look each other dead in the eyes, so many of our young players could learn a lot from the class of these warriors. You know, they're going after an Olympic berth. They're trying to do something that's a dream for 99.9% of the world. It's only a few people that get the honor of competing in the Olympics. And within that fight, within that warrior mentality, There's love. You know, that's where it all comes from. The camaraderie that these guys build is just so admirable. I wish every young player could see and spend some time with these guys. It's been a fabulous broadcast. I've enjoyed doing this with you, Kimo. Thanks a lot.
John, the pleasure's mine. And really, watching these guys, I can't think of a better way to spend the morning.
Yeah, maybe you and I will get out there. But for now, this broadcast and the floor is officially closed. Thank you, everyone.